Yo, what's good, P City? It's your man, Big Rak.
And it's your boy, Zero.
And you're tuning in to
Hustle
and
Grind
100.9, baby, here at Noongar Radio, the one and only.
Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen,
Stand
we
up.
have an absolute legend in the building. Say hello to Beni Bjah, ladies and
Say
gentlemen.
what's up.
What's cracking, boys? Thanks for having me in.
What's good? And he actually brought a special guest with him. We got Voller in the building.
Say what's up, my brother.
Yeah.
How you going?
Say hello to the people, man. Let them know who you are.
Yeah, let them know.
Yeah. He's a little shy. He's a little shy.
I'm bringing the young blood in with me, you know what I mean? So we can play younger brother boys, new track.
So much, man. It's a pillar of the community.
Straight out. That's how I roll, man. Like, you know what I mean? Especially like the young fellas are popping off these days, you know what I mean? And
absolutely.
Old boy like myself, sitting back, you know what I mean? Got to bring through the young blood, you know what I mean? I'm always about that. Always about supporting the scene and the brother boys.
And that's why we love you, brothers.
Everyone, like you boys too, man. Rocking it here at Noongar Radio, man. Like,
I appreciate you coming through, Benny.
Yeah, straight out, coming in here, boys, popping off.
Yeah, bro.
Trying, man.
We're trying to make it a vibe, you know.
Absolutely. Like the last time we got you in, we didn't really get too much of a chance to talk because it was you and Optimus, so we really wanted to get to hear what you've been up to and what you've been doing and stuff like that. So like you were saying before, you've been working on music for a little bit.
So we just the Downside album's been like in the works for a while now since I joined the boys. So that's been finished. So I've been rocking that out, but I've just started recording some of my solo stuff for my next album, like after about 5 years. So I dropped my last album in 2016. So
that was Survivor.
But so it's been a crazy ride. Like music's been a whole part of it since the whole time. I was thinking about that the other day, like how I haven't dropped much. I dropped one single after that solo, but I've been still like deep in the music and everything. So crazy.
Last time I saw you were doing the hip hop opera.
Iceland. That was crazy.
That was amazing.
That was with Yuri Arkin.
Yes, And we're going to be doing that again next year. We're going to do a regional tour,
With Iceland?
Yeah, with Iceland.
I mean, I was going to say, it's pretty successful, man. And I think it could travel really well across Australia.
Yeah, it's going to be
a good message.
Yeah, it's going to be dope. And I'm really looking forward to doing it again now. I feel like we're all comfortable in a role again. It was a crazy ride, man. It was like a dream, eh?
Yeah, what are they weird? Process. Like, you know, you're rapping and then you got to take it to like opera, you know?
Yeah.
I've been meaning to bring this up actually. There was a moment in the play where one of the mics dropped out, but you guys were so professional. You guys were so professional that you didn't even notice the mic going off because you and Optimus would swap over just as your lines would end. And I was actually just amazed by like how on point you guys are with just a little bit of an issue that came up. Like, it was just a technical issue, so you can't control it.
No, we dealt with it good, and I'm like,
You guys killed it, man.
That was on the last night, too, so, like, it was good. Yeah, that was...
It was just awesome.
That was Opto, actually, lucky he just got through the mic. I would have been in a bit of trouble, so, yeah.
So, who would you say is your biggest influence, brother, in the music scene?
Like, you talking about locally, or, like...
Just, either locally, or, like, what got you into rap in the first place?
So obviously, like growing up, I have like my influences. Like it's a pretty big cliche, but Tupac.
Yeah.
Obviously, growing up and all that. But then, like locally, it's my brother boys like Knowledge Bones and Exact. Like the boys that brought me in the game in Chili Chills, Life Quest back in like 03. Like what? Dylan, how old are you?
22.
Yeah. So what year were you born, bro?
97.
97.
Okay.
Still in the 90s, brother.
We've been a few years old in 03 when we started. Like we had a crew called Life Quest. We used to roll through Perth and that with Knowledge Bones. He's like, one of the bosses, Noongar rappers, and one of the OGs. From back in the day.
When I just turned 18, and you did the was it after NAIDOC ball party?
Yeah, we would have.
Like I just turned 18. I just got to see you.
You from Lockridge too, aren't you? So Bradford's from Knowledge. So like Knowledge is from there, and like them boys like taught me because I used to sit back like just in awe at them boys like listening to them rap and all that. And I was like, I'll give this a go, and then I think like the first rap I ever wrote, like every song we used to write back then, we used to think it was going to be the best hit in the world. You know, when you first start,
you got to have that.
You got to have that energy though.
And it's funny how it goes because these days, like as I don't know what you say, like as an established artist, like everything I do, I doubt myself. And I think that's what's made me so long to come around to doing the album again. Because when I did Survivor, I felt like it was all about me, and I didn't like. I didn't really care that anyone was going to hear it or not what was going to happen, but it made a bit of noise. And
it was your artistic expression.
Yeah, and I was lucky, like with Survivor, to win the Wham Award, and like
props to that as well.
Yeah.
That's deadly.
And I was talking to your film man here about like I was lucky to go seek out DVS, Dave Vincent Smith, and do the like when I did the whole process properly. I was talking about knowledge before, and like I was lucky to have like I've got a song called Master's Apprentice where I was lucky to like have them boys show me the ropes for like over a decade of how the game goes, how the do's and don'ts of the game. So when I come out, I was like, if I'm gonna do it properly, I need to make sure I do an album and drop it like a single with the dirty film clip. So
like a proper rollout.
Yeah, like that, and that's how I did it. And like I felt like I just following that sort of
blueprint.
I was found to have like a bit of success with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like it's like everyone with that grind. Do you know what I mean? And with your music, you don't really want to waste it. You want to try and put your energy into it.
No, absolutely.
And then that's why I feel like it's come back around to where I felt like with Survivor as well.
Yeah.
Survivor was like because I dropped that when I was 33, so it was like my whole life in the making. And like
and you can feel that.
Yeah.
A very powerful song.
Yeah, cheers, bro. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to dropping the new stuff. Like Opto's making some of the beats for me. It's like we spent about 2 or 3 hours the other night in the studio. I think I've done his head in, boy. You know, he's trying to think, what have I got myself into? I was like, that's dirty. And by the time I left, I was like, oh,
you know what?
Maybe another one.
That's the process, though, man.
It is the process, man, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing where we end up with. Like, I really want to drop it this year. But we got like so. I've got a bit of time, but like as you know, like because I've got a family and working full time.
No, absolutely.
It's
Do you want to let the people know what you do for work as well?
Oh yeah, so I work out at Ellenbrook Secondary College. Shout out to all the Ellenbrook mob. That's boss. I work out there. So it's like student support officer. That's dope, man. It's like when I was actually doing Survivor, I was studying to do youth work. And then I obviously put that on hold for a couple of years to do the music, and then I came back to it. I feel like it all interweaves and like overlaps, you know what I mean? The youth work,
especially with hip hop, like youth hip hop, and you have that connection
and give it back. Do you know what I mean?
Like give it back to the community.
I was working out there with Opto. Actually, we were doing the hip hop 101 program out there.
So that would have been dope.
That was dope with the kids out there. So and then I was lucky enough to secure a permanent job out there, which is good, man. Having a fam and that, you know. So like it's sort of it's good to like find that balance of music and work and the fam life.
That's what's up.
Which is hard to get.
Seeing as you like we always say, you're kind of a pillar of the community when it comes to being the pillar of the hip hop community or the indigenous community or just the community in general. When you're out there,
cheers, brother.
With all this going on right now with the whole Black Lives Matter movement, how important do you think representation in all fields and all facets of life is when it comes to like having people that look like us per se? Being in the right positions to make decisions for us as well, you know?
I think like it's definitely like having the platforms is what really really helps us, you know what I mean? Like having like Noongar Radio, app music like you're saying before, bro, and open that up to other mob as well. Straight out. Do you know what I mean? And being able to have a voice for ourselves, what hip hop's giving me that platform.
No, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Especially for black fellas in this country, there hasn't been many platforms to express yourself, mainly for you. Sport has really been the only for indigenous fellas.
You get censored a fair bit. So with hip hop, I think it's one of the forms that allows you to be as free and speak openly about what's actually going on.
And just like even in the last 5 or so years, I remember when I dropped Survivor, there was only really like Briggs and that around, and Jim Blah and a few other like.
Was it the Young Warriors?
There's been heaps and heaps, but within the last 5 or so years, man, it's been crazy, brother. You know,
myself.
Well, this is a perfect example. Zero is like a product of looking up to you guys and all that mob. So I think like
same as young brother Dylan.
Absolutely. So I think it's absolutely important to have people like speak out about this stuff because young brothers are going to see that and know that there's a voice out there for them as well. You know what I mean? Someone that cares about their interests and stuff like that.
It's But personally, I've been struggling. Like the last few months has been really, really hard, man. For me, like social media is like it's the gift of the curse, man. Like, I can't. It's my mental health. It really kills it. So like. Do you know what I mean? It's been really, especially having kids as well. My daughter's 14 years old, so she's starting to see see it for what it is. Do you know what I mean?
The
And
real
you're
side
like,
of the world.
do you know what I mean? And like, she wanted to go to Black Lives Matter protest, which was dope, man. I took her down there. We've seen you down there, Buzz.
Yeah.
Right, walking through that flag. It was huge. And see Fluent rocking Kai Kayana was like something special, man. And like seeing all the thousands and thousands of people down there was
a special day.
Yeah.
Would you say that there's a sense of a little bit more of change happening now more than ever? Because I think it's like you said before, because of social media, it's a gift and a curse. Like you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have everything in front of you.
We've got to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely.
We've got to keep it like what they say, trending in a way. You know what I mean, Buzz? Like, because it's just going to drop off. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think we've got to keep going and going. So like, because we've got to change policies. Do you know what I mean? Like, and go about fight, kill them with flowers, and that's how we got to go about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, but like,
it's easy to protest, but I think sometimes to change actual legislation.
And we've got to keep going now because we don't need more incidents to fucking happen. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. Before we need more change. Like, now's the time.
Now's the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So speaking of like music in general, how have you seen the sort of the scope in Perth at the moment with all these rappers coming up? Like, you have a bit of faith for the scene at the moment?
Oh man, it's in good hands, bro. It's crazy, like I just to see all that.
Especially when news were coming up, like news were like the heads coming up. When they like first started and then seeing now.
Well, like I was saying, like social media is the gift of the curse. When I was growing up, we didn't have it, so we just had to burn CDs to try and get it around. Like,
and it was almost impossible for you to get a show at any club or whatever.
And these days you can make dope music in your bedroom if you got the passion and you keep pushing. But like, there's so much. I just got to say to the young blokes out there, it's just like anything in life, man. Like, you've got to keep training and keep at it, man. It's like it takes like 10 years to be an overnight success. So like, don't let the game grind you out of it, man. You just got to keep going. Zero. Like, keep going and keep going. If you're in it for the right intentions, like, then you'll be
doors
right.
will open.
And whatever your definition of making it is, as long as you like keep grinding it out, then you'll get there. Do you know what I mean?
Straight up, brother.
Yeah, that's what I've got to say to the young fellas.
That's respect. Respect.
And Dylan, we'll get a little chance to chat to you before we wrap it up.
Let the people know who you are.
And what it is you do and what you represent, man.
I'm Dylan Voller from Alice Springs, but living up here in Noongar country. Just got a family, got a kid on the way up here. I've been in a lot of trouble in custody, in and out of custody. I finally got the opportunity to start making some music and working with people like Beni and Optimus and Fluent and stuff like that, and just trying to make something of my life.
That's what's up.
And doing it in a positive way, making music and stuff like that.
Man, you couldn't find a better avenue to do it than music.
100%, brother. And you got some of the good role models right there for you, bros.
How are you seeing working in the lab and like trying to write like rhymes and work in the scene? You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's definitely
you have to rearrange your brain a little bit.
It's definitely different to the stuff that I'm used to doing and stuff like that. Like, I've written a few poetry and stuff like that. Like, some of my poetry is just published in a book. With alongside Stephen Oliver, and some songs by Archie Roach and stuff like that.
That's awesome, man. Congrats,
just not long ago.
That's props, brother.
But so now I've just been trying to make some more raps and stuff, more of a positive outlet, a way to express myself. I was going to a lot of protests and stuff like that, and finding that I was a target at protests and stuff like that with my name. So it's more of my way to be able to express how I'm feeling and a way to tell my story.
No, absolutely.
In a way where I'm not going to be targeted.
To be honest, if your rap career like doesn't pan out, you got a whole like author like book and narrative writing section ready to go, man. So either way, you're literary at heart. You know what I mean? Like,
not really chasing the big rap career, more just find that fun, find that positive way, and find the good people being around. And really shutting off my old circle and being around more positive people like Optimus and Beni, and being able to get the opportunity to be able to come down and sit in a show like this where only 5 months ago I was sitting in Casuarina listening to the show every Friday night. So now I'd be able to sit here and be able to hopefully there's fellas out there in Casa that are listening. Like, I know there's heaps of wicked talent out there, like the Boundary Boys and all that was in there. Hopefully they get out and chase down that sort of stuff and start making some music and finding a better way as well.
That's powerful, my brother.
For sure.
What would you say? What's your biggest influence in music? Like, what got you into music? What were you like? This is what I want to do.
I wasn't. At first, as you know, I used to love all the Tupac and stuff like that, but right now I'm loving like the Aussie hip hop and especially the different cultures and like the cultural
so it's
way
like
around,
so diverse
the way around rap at the moment, the way people are taking it in different avenues is pretty. It's boss at the moment. You got like Optimus and that. He's going about it. He's changed. They've got all different sorts of types. Then you got Beni. He's got his sort of music. And then you got people like Chinlet, you got yourself, you got all these different sort of music here in Australia. You go through my playlist, there's hardly any international artists on there. I'm just listening. You got Kobe Duncan, who's a close brother of mine. Shout out to Kobe. My daughter's godfather and stuff like that. The music he's making, like, you see all these young fellas these days when they rap, they want to rap about stuff that they've never done, fake stuff like that. And you got Kobe coming out and rapping about real shit, you know.
That's Kobe
what I love. That's what I love hearing. I love hearing young fellas getting on the mic and rapping about that real shit.
There's that track by I think it's Jody by Kobe.
Absolutely.
That thing is that. Every time I listen to it, it's so vivid.
When I first heard it, man, it gave me goosebumps.
Even that, like as a young man being on the streets and stuff like that, relating to how he's talking about, like, a lot of young fellas, they don't really want to be doing what they're doing. They want to. A lot of people would rather die than be on the streets and, you know, doing the stuff that half the stuff they do. The way he's rapped that, and I know a lot of other young fellas will relate to the way
sometimes the lifestyle is the ends to a means. It's not necessarily a choice. You know what I mean? Like,
I think a lot of young fellas and that will relate to the way he's rapping and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
You're saying you've been working like close with Opto and the Brother Boys. Where you got anything cooking? Anything coming?
I've actually got something with Fluence agreed to jump on a track with me at the moment. We're just slowly working on. I put my verse down, just letting him finish off some stuff that he's working on. And then we've got something that's probably come out, hopefully get it done by the end of the year or the next couple of months.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Once that drops, you know, send it to us.
Yeah, sure.
And what do you reckon about it? He's definitely got something going for him.
Straight out, he's got the realness there, you know what I mean? He's got a story to tell, you know what I mean? So, and that's what it's all about. That's what hip-hop's about at its heart, bro. So, straight out. And he's right with Opto, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
Absolutely.
Got one of the dons, you know, one of the greats of Perth.
That's how grateful to be able to go, you know, sit around in the backyard and
straight up, cuz
have a feed and sit back in the studio instead of having to go somewhere and sit there where I don't know people. I've got someone that's more of a mate, more of a role model and stuff like that. Sit back working on music. It's more of a, you know, fun time sitting back just having a yarn and being able to have that yarn with a brother at the same time while doing something that I'm finding passionate and finding fun. And just working with him as well, you know, and not only like working with him and making music, more learning about how to make music and everything all in one, not just
like just going all into it, you know.
No, that's what's up, man. We're looking forward to getting you in here when you've dropped like an album or so, or like a little project or an EP or something like that. You know what I mean? No, absolutely, man, absolutely. Got to represent. This is probably like the last question we ask everyone. I think we asked Beni this last time, so we'll go straight to you this time.
Brother.
Who's your top 5? Like, say if you had no choice and these are the last artists you could listen to for the rest of your life, who would they be?
And you could only have them 5.
I'm gonna have to put Beni in there with that song. With Cruel Country, and there you go. I've got to put Beni in there. And the other ones I'm loving Little Mace.
Little Mace, shout out Little Mace.
Definitely got to put Kobe in there.
Shout out Kobe D.
Tasman Keith. Another brother from Sydney. The way he raps and the way he's taking it's killing it. There's so many. Five's really pretty hard to pick.
You've nailed 4 so far. That was quick.
I got to put my sister in there. Shout out. She just signed a record deal today with Karma Radio to do her first EP, which she's been waiting years for after having kids. So I got to put my sister in there.
That's what's up, man.
A man
that represents fam.
Karma Radio's in Alice Springs. They do a lot of the music stuff. Film and stuff like that. It's a pretty big radio channel. But also got to put Archie Roach in there. He's one of the all-time greats. Might not be rap, but no one goes past Archie Roach. He's got that voice that I went and seen him for the first time a couple of years ago, and even as a man, I sat there and started crying.
Bro.
Like, he's just got that voice.
He's got that voice and that passion. What about you, my brother?
Has it changed since the last time you saw you?
Probably not. Mine's heavily American, so like in no particular order, it'd be Tupac, DMX, Nas.
2 more, my brother.
Royce the 5'9". Did I put him in there last time?
No, I think you did. You did mention Royce.
Lucky last.
I don't know, I'm going to miss out about 10 blokes. I'll go for a new school. I like Joyner Lucas. He's
lyricist.
His whole album, I've been bumping that whole... the whole album, man. I bumped the whole album, and it's hard for me these days to like bump a whole album back to back. Like,
but I feel like he's like... He's new school, but he's got that old school feel.
And he's just himself, do you know what I mean? Like
he's not trying to be anything else, he's being himself.
And that ADHD track and the film clip is just like, it's craft.
My favourite's like, I'm not racist, just purely because of how like poignant that is. That's Johnny Lucas, yeah?
Yeah.
All that stuff.
It's not racist. Yeah.
He kills all that
I thought I was
stuff.
talking about someone else.
No, go with you, man.
And I like how, like, because he was like under a lot of pressure just because he's dropping all that stuff, and everyone's like, oh, you could do an album, it's got to be good. His album was fire, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I was going to say, like, it obviously makes sense why a lot of your influences are American because you grew up with. That was your early starting.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, lucky these. Right,
you have someone to look up to.
I said it to my wife in the car the other day. I was like, these fellas these days, they're lucky to have the Australian. If I was growing up now, like, my influences would be local, man. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And like even my daughter, like she doesn't really get into hip hop, but she loves Rule, and she loves 5 Seconds of Summer, and she loves like Beni, who's a New Zealand artist, and she loves these guys like I love Tupac and all that. And these guys are Australian, man, so it's like a lot closer to them, and I feel it's a great influence, and it's speaks like volumes for how far Australian cultures. Come, not just hip hop, it's music, man. Like,
that's
you know what I mean?
Honestly, guys, it's been
a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, man. If you're going to kick me out, I'll just yarn on.
Any shout out you boys want to give? Shout out to the fam. Yourselves, go ahead.
Shout out to the SBX boys. Upgrade, Disaster. Shout out to the Laugh Quest boys. Shout out to the Allenbrook crew. Shout out to my fam.
The
Armadale mob. All that,
I'll give a shout out to Mervyn Eads from Nallamaya for getting a few of us brothers and the stuff, the work he does down there for us young fellas.
He is, bro. He's a pillar of our community.
Haven't really had many opportunities in the last 5 days. We've got about 6 certificates already and got another week to go. A few brothers I've grown up with and been out of prison as well. Liam Punch, Denzel Coyne and Corey Rimmo all pushing through, trying to make something better than himself.
That's awesome, man.
That's respect, my bro.
That's what's up. So say goodbye to Benny and Dylan.
Goodbye to the brother Dylan.
Thanks for having us, boys.
It's awesome having you guys. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go out with one of Benny's tracks, Survivor. This is one of our personal favorites. And after that we'll play Dylan's track, Trauma, and that's produced by Optimus actually.
Yes.
So shout out to the fam, man.
Shout out to Optimus.
This is Hustle and Grind, baby. We'll be right back.
Peace.